Welcome back once again to Jack's Tech Corner. I'm your host Jack, and this is a video edition of how to upgrade your Mac to Lion, just as the title says. Now, Apple has came out with a new way. I don't know if you went out to the Apple store during the release and you're like, wow, give me a box copy of Lion. I'm ready to take it home and install it. There is no box copies of Lion. Lion is actually only sold now, right at this point, through the App Store. And we're familiar with the App Store because how long have we been doing this with the iPads and with the iPhones and the iPod Touches? I know even my kids are familiar. They go onto the App Store and they download a free game or download some little application they want to use on their iPod Touch. So everybody's familiar with the App Store. It's a new way of doing things. Now they are going to be selling Lion very soon. Probably, I think they said in September at the Apple stores for those people that just can't seem to catch on to downloading software. And if you don't have high-speed internet now, Apple is offering for you to come into their store, go to the Genius Bar, and they'll actually install it right there on their internet. So there's a lot of ways to put this Lion onto your computer. So let's go ahead and we're going to look at the App Store on the actual laptop here. And I can tell you, before you load Lion, you're going to need at least to have Snow Leopard on your computer. So on the Mac, you'll want at least OS 10.6 is the version you have to at least have. Or maybe 0.5 after that. I'm not sure because I don't really know when the App Store came out. But if you don't see the App Store in your dock, then you can't upgrade to Lion yet. You have to do 2 upgrades to get to Lion. So here we are. It comes up very easy in the App Store. You can find it right at the top. It's their featured program. And what makes the App Store also nice is that it allows developers to come into your house and actually present software to you without creating a box or worrying about artwork. You know, we're starting to get away from that. We did for years anyway. How many times do you actually look for your disk when you install your printer? Probably none, because now we actually download the drivers from the internet. And we even do that where I work. We don't even keep drivers on disks anymore because it's obsolete, right? We just put them on a server and we just hit them that way. So to carry all those CDs around anymore, Apple's probably right about the CD market is starting to go away. Now, they may not be right because a lot of people archived pictures onto CDs and DVDs. And now I understand their Mac Mini doesn't even have an optical drive in it. So how would you get those pictures back? And my only thing there for you folks, not to bore you with that, is to start using some online storage. I think you'll be okay with that. So anyway, here is OS X or OS 10 Lion. If you click on the download link, it's going to take us right into where we can purchase this. So here it is, and now we can actually purchase right here. And I did this already a couple days ago. But if you click the pull down link here, you can always copy the link or tell a friend. Now, when you click on this link here, it's going to actually submit it, and just like you would buy any other app, and you're going to buy it. But here's what it does. Here's the really cool thing about how this loads over the internet. It's not installing, because my fear was if I start installing Lion and all of a sudden my computer craps out or the internet connection gets broken and it's halfway through an upgrade. What happens when a computer's halfway upgraded? Yeah, you're right. It doesn't boot anymore, so you're kind of stuck. So what it does is once you click this to buy, we can get rid of the App Store. I don't think we need that anymore. It's going to show up down here in your dock. It'll be a Lion, and it'll start actually downloading. Just leave your computer sit there, leave it turned on, and walk away. The download is almost 4 gigabytes. So it's 3 point something, so close to 4. And it's going to take a while. I don't know what speed your internet connection is, but it will take a little while to download. Now here's the neat thing. Once you download it, and I don't have it in here, but I'm going to show you. You go into your applications folder, and it's going to be in here. All you have to do, they made it really simple to do this. You go to, let's say this Google Earth is my Lion. I would right click it, and I would just simply copy. It'll say copy Lion, and then I copied it right onto a DVD. And then I made this little DVD up. Let's see if we can see that. There's not enough light on that. Let me see if I can get some light here. Or maybe now we can see it. You can see where it says Lion OS 10 10.7. Alright. So, now it allows me to take this DVD. I can put it into the laptop or desktop, wherever I need my media at. But what I found is when you do this, it will not install off the DVD. Again, like a catch-22, right? It's not going to install off the DVD. You have to copy it to the actual hard drive. I don't know why. It must be some way that it installs, how it checks the computer or checks the Mac that you have, whichever desktop or laptop you may have. So, but you put it in there, and then you can actually copy that contents off of there and copy it onto your actual computer itself. That's where you want it. We're just waiting here to see if it comes up. It's trying to read it. Open up your DVD, and there's our Lion install. It says install Mac OS X or OS 10 Lion. Now if I right click, or I can drag that out of there, I'll copy it, and we're going to copy it right to our desktop. And you can see there's 3.7 gigs. I don't know if you can see it on the video or not. And just so you know, this video is being recorded with my iPhone, with the high definition side of the camera there with the iPhone. I've been doing videos quite a while. Most videos that you see on my YouTube videos right now, where I'm in front of the camera, or the video I did on the Roku box, that's all done with the iPhone. Now when that's copying, this gives me a good time to tell you about a couple of our new vendors on there. One new vendor, if you're looking for anything from Barnes & Noble, either books, or you're looking for a new Nook for a loved one, or maybe even for yourself. I have a Nook and I enjoy it. It's a really great device to read on. Go to my webpage, jackstechcorner.com, and on the left, there's some graphics. Go to the bottom of the left-hand side, and you'll now see a new Barnes & Noble graphic. Barnes & Noble became one of our sponsors. So if you click that link and then go to the Barnes & Noble site and buy whatever you want to buy, magazines, books, or a Nook, like I said, Nook Color maybe. But pick up anything from there, and then that actually helps to show out. It helps keep producing these videos. It helps to pay for the website. So if you get a chance, check out Barnes & Noble. Also, do you Roku? The Roku box is the top graphics on my webpage, the real big graphics. I recently bought a Roku box, and I'm very excited. You can watch all these great tech shows on it. Actually, I'm working on building a channel for the Roku box. And you can also watch other great tech shows from Leo Laporte, or those Techzilla guys. I tell you what, that's a really good show also. But you can also stream all your Netflix movies on there for a low cost with Netflix of about $8 a month. And tons and tons of other channels. There's many channels to watch. You'll be amazed on what you can see on a Roku box. And hey, starting at $59, it's a great deal. But if you buy the Roku, make sure you go to my website, Jack's Tech Corner, and use the little graphics on the left. Click on that and pick up a Roku box. Okay, and at this point, we're still waiting for this to actually copy over. It's going to take a little bit of time here. So I am just waiting patiently. I did already upgrade. Actually, I upgraded a Mac Mini at work. And the one thing I could tell you to make sure if you have this on a network, if your Mac's already on a domain, whatever domain, either a Windows domain or a Mac server, make sure that you have a local account and make sure you know the username and password. Because what happens is it knocked it off of the domain. Now, I went through the standard way of putting it on a domain and it went right back on. So it's fine now. But originally I had to remember the local user account and password to get into the box, into the Mac Mini. So that's a word of warning I have for you. So I'm loading it on this particular laptop right now because I want to start playing with the software that I use for, well, just like recording here. Now, it's recording on my iPhone, but a lot of you know I record the audio through a program called Audacity. and I use my mixer and everything I use for my live shows to record all this. Then I piece everything together later in the in iMovie. So I just feel the audio is a lot better for you guys if I use a microphone than if I use the small little microphone in the iPhone. It doesn't sound that good. So that's the way that works. So I'll be testing all that software out, seeing how everything works, making sure it's good. Also, my live streaming software I use. You know, you got to make sure software works. And if you're watching this and you're upgrading for your company, I would suggest do the same thing. Do your own personal laptop first, or maybe a Mac Mini in your office building there, or school, wherever you're at, and start throwing your software in there and seeing that everything works the way you want it to, or works the way it should work. Again, this is going to take a little while. So I think what I'm going to do actually is stop. I'm going to pause this video. Okay, folks, so as this is going, this is one of those scenarios where it's just like watching grass grow or paint dry, right? We're not going to sit and watch this thing here, so I'm going to be right back with you once we start the install of OS X Lion. When we start the install, then I'll walk you through a couple steps here, and I'll show you how to get started. It's pretty straightforward. The one thing I would suggest you do before I leave you here is back up all your software. Back up. Get everything backed up just to make sure the install goes well, and you don't want to lose anything. So get everything backed up onto an external hard drive, and then you'll be ready to upgrade to Lion. So we'll talk about the install here in just a minute. Okay, now that we have everything set up here, we're ready to start the install. We have it copied over. We're going to try to turn this over here just a little bit. You can see we have the icon on the desktop for the Lion here. So we have the icon right here. You can just double click at the install. And we'll click continue. Now when I tried to do this off of the DVD, you'll notice right away you'll get an I/O error, input-output error, and it will not install. And ask you to agree. You're going to click install. Type in your password. And then it's going to prepare your computer to install. The computer will restart automatically, it says. And at that point, this is just like baking a cake, right? You put it in the oven, walk away and go do something else, and then come back in a little while, and we'll see exactly where it's at and how the install went. So in about 3 minutes remaining, it's going to actually reboot and do its thing, and then we'll pick it up from there. So it's nothing dramatic right now. I don't know. We're going to wait the 3 minutes out here, or not. We'll see how this goes. But it's interesting to me how you can install an operating system on top of the operating system that's running. A lot of you might understand this, and some of you may not, but ordinarily over the years that I've been doing this, you would start with a fresh, cleaned out hard drive, and you would put your operating system CD in, you would boot to the CD, so you'd be loading from the CD to the hard drive. This is interesting because you're loading on the same hard drive. Here's another interesting note is it does create an emergency restore partition. So if it would crash or something would happen to the operating system, then you can restore it. You can actually reload the whole operating system from that restore partition. Here is the bad side, or the downside to that, is if the hard drive craps out, if your hard drive loses a spindle, right, something happens to it, you're going to end up in a world of hurt because there's no way to actually do the install. Now they're telling me that with this there's something in its startup menu, like you guys know when you hold down the option key, you hold down the option key of the Mac and you can boot to different things. We're doing it now at work. We're booting to an external hard drive. So you can hold the option key down there saying you can boot to some internet drive or the App Store online, and it will reload your Lion. So, and of course, I'm not trying that, but we'll see how that goes. So right now the computer is going to restart automatically in about 7 minutes, or 7 seconds, I'm sorry. And then it will go ahead and continue with its install process. And this is why I couldn't do a screencast of this. This is why I'm recording this with my iPhone. And there it goes. It's going to kill it and restart it. So at that point, basically, it was probably just copying those files over to that separate partition, so then it can go ahead and do the upgrade on the main partition. So again, that's just like having two different I/O devices, right? Input-output devices. It was like when we had the DVD drive or the CD drive and the hard drive. So hopefully that makes sense to everybody. And hopefully this video is thorough enough for you, but not over complicated. I often tell people, upgrading is not brain surgery. They take all the pain out of it. The only thing I always tell you to do is back up, back up, back up. That's probably why one reason I'm not doing my desktop right now is there's so many important stuff on there, and I do back it up, but I pretty much want to make a clone of the machine before I do that. And we can talk about that. If you've never cloned your machine before, it's a good idea. You can actually clone it to an external hard drive and boot if anything happens and have your whole computer on that external hard drive. So it's pretty cool. So at this point, it's just going to go through and start walking through the installer, and that's going to install the Lion onto the computer. So what I'm going to do is I'll be back again when the install is finished, and we'll have a little look around the logon screen, which changed a little bit, and we'll look around a little bit at the operating system itself to give you a few of the different changes. I don't know them all. I'm still learning it, to be quite honest, but I at least wanted to get you to understand how to do the install and what happens. So let's go ahead and let this install, and I'll see you back here when it's finished. Once the computer is done, it's going to tell you to simply reboot the machine. Once you reboot your Mac, you're going to come up with a new looking logon screen, and that is what we're looking at right now. The one thing I noticed in the upper right hand side, even on the login screen now, it gives us the battery power indication, and you see it's 100%. Of course I have it plugged in right now. It gives us the clock on the upper right hand side, which is handy, right? It's nice to have that. And then it gives us, instead of the old way of logging in, it gives us the icons here, the pictures that you've chosen. So if you have your picture up here, it'll give you your picture. I actually chose a basketball. So if you click on that, then that's where you would log in at. Once you type your name, you could either hit the arrow there or just hit the enter key. Either one will do it. And it's going to go ahead and log you in to your freshly updated Mac. So there it is. Now we're logged into the freshly updated Mac. Now I think I'm going to move over though, and I'm going to attempt to work on some screencasting with the updated Mac here, to kind of show you around and give you a better better tutorial of what you're going to see with Lion and what's new with Lion. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So let me go ahead and switch over to the screencasting software, and we'll start there. Okay, so now it's time to take that tour, that visual tour of the new operating system. And this is, as you can see, Lion. It's OS 10.7 or OS X 10.7, which I don't know why they say that, because the X does equal 10 anyway. So what's new in Lion? What are you going to expect to see? There's a couple key things they tried to do, and if you read a lot of the stories and blogs on the internet, such as I did, you'll learn right away that they tried to make it feel and look like iOS. And there's a reason behind that. For years we've been trying to get people to switch from Macs to iPads and picking up an iPhone. But the truth be told, many people pick up an iPhone or an iPad and never experienced a Mac at all. And they're scared to death of a Mac. They're like, well, I can't use a Mac. It would be too hard to learn. Well, truth is, it's not. But what they tried to do, we tried to duplicate that look and feel of iOS. And here you go. It's called Launchpad. Launchpad, hopefully this records okay on the screencast here. I don't never try the software when you're zooming into these different screens. I don't know what it's going to look like, so hopefully we're all seeing the same thing. But Launchpad is just that. It's exactly like you would see a iOS device. And you can scroll back and forth across here. You can see all of your applications. Now what I did like about this when I was playing around was you can simply click on an application and one click will open it. And what I didn't try, and I'm not sure if it works, we're going to try it now. We'll try to click on this application here, and if we pull it in here, sure enough it makes a folder just like it does. That's pretty cool. It makes a folder just like it does on your iPhone or on your iPad. So you can group all these with folders. If you click, it does go away. So if you click off of it here, it does go away. Or you can click down here at the bottom, it says Launchpad. And once again, that's all your applications. There's also something new called Mission Control. Now, Mission Control is basically a screenshot of your dashboards. So if you have multiple dashboards open, which I've never actually used much, we'll try to do it here and we'll see if we can duplicate that. So if you go here and we look for, okay, so with the dashboard application and being able to switch around here with Mission Control, we can actually change such things as show dashboard as a space, automatically rearrange spaces based on the most recent use, and when switching to an application, switch to a space with an open Windows as an application. And there's hot corners. But like I said, I've never been a big fan or user of spaces, which is multiple desktops basically. And it allows you to scroll back and forth. Now I know a lot of people at work use those. So there's something to be said about that. But that is exactly what Mission Control is for. Like I said, it allows you to see your different spaces and be able to jump through those quickly without having to scroll through multiple windows to find your open applications. Now one thing I didn't really like, if we click on Finder, there's a couple things in Finders I don't like. Is one thing people tell you can no longer see what's called the library folder, and if you've used a Mac for all, you understand what I'm saying about that. So you no longer see the library folder, and when you scroll, if you pull down on your trackpad like you normally would to go down, right, it does not go down. If you pull down, it goes up. This is called reverse scrolling. The reason they did that is because that is what the iPad uses, reverse scrolling, because it's more natural on the iPad to go up and down like that. Now what I did was I simply went in, and if you go to your trackpad, you can just shut it off right here at the top. When using gestures to scroll or navigate, move content in the direction of finger movement, not the opposite direction. So just click that, and then you're good to go. Now if you open this up and we pull down on our trackpad, it goes down. If we push up, it goes up, just like it normally would. So the experience is the same as we always had. And with that, I can tell you you're going to have to update some of your applications. I did find some of the applications that the older version was not compatible. If you have any old PowerPC applications, we found this out in the school, that we use a program called Alice for 3D graphic rendering. You cannot use Alice anymore because it's an old PowerPC based application and it will not run. So until they update that application, it won't work anymore on Lion. So hopefully folks, you've enjoyed this little video tour of Lion and you have a little more understanding of what its uses are, how it's set up and how it works. Not a whole lot of difference, and I would say unless there's a really big reason to push you to upgrade to Lion, at this point I probably would not spend the $30. I don't think it's a worthwhile upgrade unless you never moved to Snow Leopard. If you've never moved to Snow Leopard, then now may be the time, but they're going to charge you double there because I guess the way it works is you have to update the Snow Leopard to get the App Store, and then you upgrade to Lion. So there you have it. Okay, so hopefully you'll be good to go. And if you have any questions, email me at jackstechcorner@gmail.com. I'll be glad to help you out with your upgrade if you have any issues. But you should be just fine upgrading your Mac to Lion if you wish to do that. And until next time, keep those computers running. Keep running your tools and keeping them clean. Check your disks often. And I'll see you back here on Jack's Tech Corner. Bye for now.